Anarkali umbrella top stitching method. After ready the pattern, method to cut the Anarkali umbrella model top. While cutting this model, choose different colors of cloth in the top side and the bottom side. It will be look good. Now fold the cloth into 4 the bottom side and place the pattern in the folding side. Fold the cloth in the length side and place the pattern and mark the round. Mark the round. After marking, cut it down the pieces. After marking, cut it down the piece. Marking the piece, cut down the pieces. Now the piece have been marked down for the bottom umbrella cut. For the bottom umbrella cut, we had marked down the piece. Now we had marked the pieces. Now mark the center piece. Cut the center or cut for stitching mark. This should be equal while stitching the piece. Now we are cutting the lining piece. Fold the lining piece and take the height measurement. Now we are taking the height measurement. Taking the height measurement in the lining piece from the center till to the bottom. We are marking for the lining part. Marking for the lining part. Now in the lining piece, the height is less in the one side for 3 inches. This can be make joint for stitching. The lesser shortage height is 4 inches. This can be joint while stitching. Take that 4 inch. In this lining part, the lining piece should be lesser than the main piece, so that we are taking 4 inch lesser from the actual bottom part and marking the 4 inch from the bottom side all over round. Now we had marked for lining piece. Cut the shape. Cut the shape. We are measuring the height from the top to the bottom. From top to the bottom. Now we are measuring the height from top to the bottom. The height is 31 inch. Height is 31 inch. Now cut the extra pieces. Cut the extra pieces. Now cut the top side bent piece also. This is for lining part. Cut the bottom side. Cut the bottom side. Now we are cutting at the bottom side. Now we are cutting at the bottom side. we are cutting at the bottom side. Extra pieces will be cutted out. Now the lining piece have been cutted out for the bottom pipe. Now in the top side we are cutting the piece for the top side. Draw the pattern. Draw the pattern. Draw the pattern and stitch the piece. Cut the piece for the top side. Now we are cutting the sleeve portion. Cutting the sleeve portion. Now we are cutting for the petal sleeve model. Cutting for the petal sleeve model. Now we are cutting for the petal sleeve model. Now placing the lining piece in the main piece. The lining piece in the main piece. Join the pieces. Join the pieces. Join the pieces in the back side. Now joining the lining piece with the petal sleeve model. Making the piping for the bottom side. Piping for the bottom side. Now joining the piping piece with the petal sleeve bottom side. Now the petal sleeve pieces have been joined out. Petal sleeve pieces have been joined out. Now joining the petal sleeve models. Joining the petal sleeves. And now joining the piece neck designs. We are designing the piping for the neck side. Now we are make the design for the front neck side, making the lace, stitching the lace in the front design, lace in the front design. In the lace for round neck we want to make the pleats in the bend, so that only we can stitch the piece clearly. Now after stitching we are making another one neck for stitching. Now in the back side we are designing a square neck type designs for back side. Stitch the design in this method. Now stitching the design in the front side. Now the design have been ready. Now join the front and back shoulder part. Front and back shoulder parts. Now joining the bottom part with the lining part. Join the both pieces of the bottom side and then join with the piece in the main piece. Now we are joined the piece with the top side pieces. Now the joint pieces have been joined. After this, join the sleeve portion and then make the side stitching. And make the side stitching. Now the Now the bottom side piece have been finished. After this, join the both side pieces. Now join the sleeve portion. Join the sleeve portion with the main piece, and then after joining the sleeve portion, make the side stitching from the top to the bottom, side 1.5 inch stitching portion. While stitching this part, from the hip joint position, make the center, both front and back pieces should be same. The centers of the both and front and back should be same. From that center towards downside, join the lining pieces and the main piece as separately. Remove the lining piece separately and join the side portion of the cloth. Now the cloth will be this method. After this joining, after the main piece joining, take the lining piece and join the piece with the lining. Watch the piece with the lining. Now after joining the main piece, mark the half-inch stitching point in the lining piece so that the loose will be good look. Now join both the parts of lining pieces. Now we are joining the lining piece of bottom side. After joining the lining piece, bottom folding stitches should be made. And the Anarkali umbrella model top will be finished it off.